Today, I went to a cafe to take a rest and have a drink, but the waiter gave him a milk tea in a disposable cup. I was shocked and confused why he did this.
I think the main reason of eating for here is to reduce unnecessary waste. But with the users continuously increasing, the restaurant has to lower the cleaning time as much as possible.
So that's why they continue to use disposable cups. Do you think there's any way to flip the situation?
I guess so. Let's welcome the next group, Teen Thermal Thrashers, and see how they are addressing this issue.
$400 million. That is how many tons of plastic we produce each year as a global community. Look, the number doesn't even fit the screen. In Taiwan, we produce 4.5 billion disposable beverage cups each year. That number can stack up to a height of 132 Taipei 101s. Can you imagine the height, and can you imagine how many disposable beverage cups we throw away each year? Here are some popular chain stores you can find across Taiwan. But out of all of these, can you name one single chain store in Taiwan that does not provide disposable utensils at all?
No, you can't.
Stores always say, we want a greener earth, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
But do they truly wholeheartedly believe in this cause?
Or are they just doing all of this for their branding identity?
I'm Selena.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Claire.
And I'm Yuhan. And we are the Teen Thermal Thrashers. Our story starts with Louisa Coffee. Every Louisa Coffee we walked in, we saw disposable utensils.
This raises the question, why are people still using disposable utensils when they are clearly dining in?
We walked into different Louisa coffee shops and we asked the workers, but we got essentially the same answer from all of them. Their store policy says that they are only allowed to provide reusable utensils when the customer's dine-in drink is hot.
Some of the Louisa coffee shops don't have reusable utensils at all. So if you order a cold drink, get food, or basically anything else when dining in, Louisa coffee workers will still give you disposable utensils.
That doesn't make sense at all.
So, we started a campaign to encourage people to ask for reusable cups when dining in. Our goal? Make it easy, make it normal, and make it loud. Armed with posters and ambition, we camped outside of Louisa, asking people to sign in support of reusable utensils. In total, we obtained about 200 signatures by going out to advocate whenever we get free time from schoolwork. With high school looming over us, it was extremely difficult to work out our schedules. And sadly, we didn't get to advocate as much as we hoped. When we were collecting signatures, we faced a ton of rejections, especially when temperatures were freezing. There was also an unexpected plot twist, which was that most of the old people we encountered already brought their own cups. So, instead of getting discouraged or giving up, we got smarter. We checked which days had more foot traffic, targeted people with disposable cups. Basically, we became eco-friendly cup detectives. Of course, none of this would have been possible without a few basic resources. Our budget mainly went toward printing our posters, which kept us looking fresh and professional while we froze outside Louisa. Worth it. Of course, posters and supplies weren't the only thing that kept us moving. What really kept us moving was moral support, both from our own team members and from our new partners.
We collaborated with Fridays for Future Taiwan And this partnership really skyrocketed our project to the next level.
Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm the founder of Fridays for Future Taiwan, and I'll talk a little bit more about how we connect to this campaign as an external organization. So, who knows who this is? Great. This is Greta Thunberg. When she was only 15 years old, she sat outside the Swedish parliament for many weeks because she was trying to protest against the lack of actions governments are taking against climate action. So, inspired by her actions and her movement, we decided to bring this all over to Taiwan because we realized that over in many different cities around the world, a lot of the youth and students are being a part of this movement. But here in Taiwan, our students are not as engaged and involved, so we decided to bring it to Taiwan. So over the past 4 years of my high school, we have been involved in many different activities, ranging from beach to street cleanups to protests, as you can see here, as well as other events like school visits. So you might be wondering, how do we connect to this campaign? We are an external organization. We're not a part of the team at first. So how do we relate to this? Well, FFF Taiwan is very dedicated to connecting different local organizations and campaigns together. And together as a lot of different high schoolers from different schools, we thought it would be great to support this campaign because its vision aligns with ours, that we want to connect different organizations together and support local grassroots movements. So as I am graduating in a month, we have a new goal for FFF Taiwan, passing on to our new president, Selena, which is climate education. So with the emphasis of climate education, we also want to put another emphasis on connecting different organizations around Taiwan and different campaigns, which we will talk about later. So over the past month, we have worked with this campaign because we want to make sure that it reaches to more students. And as FFF Taiwan, we have connections with different high schoolers and members all around Taiwan. So together we began brainstorming on how we as an organization can connect to this campaign and reach out to more people from different backgrounds.
So yeah, I'm Selena. I'm the new president of Fridays for Future Taiwan. This year we went to the Alma United Nations Community Fair and also various different schools ranging from elementary to high school to educate them about climate change and also share our own experiences. I personally went to COP28 Dubai as a junior journalist. And let me just talk about how we coordinated with the Society of Wilderness to this creative event that we've seen on the social media. We collaborated also on social media. So it started in Dan Park, and it's kind of like a street performance event that we instead of attracting monetary donations, we attracted we collected signatures from passerbys and from our audiences. So I basically connected with whoever I can think of, except from our Fridays for Future members. I also connected with my NTU classmates and her cousins, my friends who could sing, and all those friends that could just come and be a passerby, if you know. So that afternoon, we spent 2 hours on the street, some of us doing performances to attract passerbys, and others we collect signatures when they come, and others we even make speeches in front of people. And I'm a junior reporter, as I said, for 2 years. So I also invited this Mirror News Teens Weekly, my partner, to report on this event. So we could really go on the real media, the real traditional media, as well as our own social media. And so during that day actually was a very chaotic one for me, at least. There was emergency events all over the place. A street performance that I coordinated with called me the last minute that he couldn't come. And so we didn't have any microphones, we didn't have any speakers, and the small speaker that we got was broken again. So I kind of had to go on myself to be that street performer myself, as I can dance. And we also kindly invited people who could play the guitar and even fold balloons to attract maybe little children with their parents. And so, as you can see, we were also interviewed by traditional media and collected a lot of signatures. We did also have a lot of setbacks when we were rejected by people who are rushing, but the place we chose, which is Dine Park, had less of this problem. So the hard work paid off, and our Teens New Weekly, this media news, received a considerably amount of views, and we also gained attraction on our social media. There's a lot of likes and views on our social media, and so this event is really a really meaningful one, as all of us are from different high schools and even from different organizations. But we combined what we have, connected what we have, also brought out what we have as talents to amplify our impacts, and also that we collected 400 signatures just that day to not only educate these passerbys that sign their names on it, but also everyone on the social media who sees this event and who knows what is going on.
So what are some of our future plans? For our short-term goal, we want to partner with organizations and school clubs. We have already started with this with our partnership with Fridays for Future, and currently we are negotiating service hour opportunities with the National Honor Society. For our midterm plan, we want to continue this project onto the next year, with future younger Society of Wilderness members joining us and expanding on this project. For a long-term goal, we had a question keep on popping up during our whole project, and you may have been wondering this too. Why do we ask for signatures at all? Because throughout this whole project, our whole project was based on signatures. We ask for signatures so that we can materialize our project and materialize our movement. We ask for signatures so that we can show you and the rest of Taiwan how many people are now aware of this issue and care about this issue. We ask for signatures so that we can negotiate with stores like Louisa so that they can permanently implement reusable utensils within their stores. So we hope that through this project, we can make Louisa make a change on their policies and permanently implement reusable utensils within their stores so that people don't have to use disposable utensils when dining in. And we hope that Louisa can become a store we can be proud of. So here are our citations and the overall budget we spent on this project. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Big smiles, good. Okay. I have only one question because we only have 3 minutes for each judge. You collected signatures, but you didn't collect 2 million. That's of course impossible. But 200 signatures plus 400 signatures, how do you expect to make impact? Because Louisa is a gigantic organization, right? They have stores all over the island. And you've been running around like crazy. I know it's hard. It's very, very hard. I think my only question is that you have short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. And I think what I would like to know is that how do you make sure that you make enough impact to be able to realize what you're hoping to achieve? That's my question.
I'll say first on our side that we're connecting with bigger organizations, so going into organizations that have thousands of people and advocating what we have. And also there's a lot of actually students on social media that actually care about this. There's organizations that we are going to connect with their college students. They have invented this like reusable edible cup. And also, so during this time of connecting with these bigger organizations, we're still going on to like individuals to really make their signatures count, because on an individual level, when you really sign these signatures, you kind of build your own self-identity to become someone that cares about the environment and someone that cares about reducing waste, at least. So we're not just aiming for this like great change that is maybe in the future, but also these incremental changes. And I think we can also start with, because we can also start with individual Louisa coffees, these branches, to kind of connect with them. So if, for instance, I have already connected with 1 or 2 branches that they allowed us to put posters on them. And this also, we're going to amplify this impact through this. Yeah, they do. Right now it's 2 stores, because it's just like my in Xinyi Chu. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And as I said before, we're trying to make our project loud. So we're going to keep hosting big events like the televised one in Dan Park. And we're going to keep collaborating with other organizations, like Selena said. We're also going to keep going on the streets and asking for signatures, because some people don't use social media. So if we use both social media and going on the streets in real life, then we can collect even more signatures. So by having more people join us, we're going to have a much wider reach. We can go to more places and ask for more signatures, and we can also host bigger events.
Okay, good morning. Yeah, I think the microplastics is really a hot issue right now. Like we know last month, we even know the amount of microplastic in our brain even equals spoons, right? So that means we have to take this issue very seriously. But I think the main reason we don't prefer to use the reusable cup provided by the shop is because of hygiene issue. Because every time when I bring my kids to a McDonald's, when I drink the cup, when I see the cup, I always see it very carefully to see where any saliva left by the last customer. So if anyone asks you, how do you know this kind of reusable cup will not have any hygiene issue, how are you going to reply this question?
So I've actually interviewed the owner of that particular Louisa branch about this problem, and he said that at least for them, they have strict rules on cleaning those cups, and especially that you can indeed ask for to change to mug cups when you're having a hot drink, and also even for them, the cost for washing these cups are actually lower than using the plastic cups, because the fact they have to buy plastic cups every month is a cost for them. But it's kind of an extension after the COVID-19 pandemic that everyone got used to this these kinds of plastic buying works. But I think it's rather a change in another habit rather than a change in kind of what people think that about the hygiene issue, because there's actually minimal hygiene issue than we think.
To add on to that, I think in terms of our future goals, it's very important to keep this question in mind. I think it's a great question, because in order to push forth these changes, we have to take into account that people do have these concerns. So hand in hand with our long-term goals, I also think we will keep in mind that we will also advertise and campaign for other people to understand that, hey, maybe these companies are using cups that are more hygienic than we think they are. Like, there's a stigma surrounding this idea that they're really dirty, but this is something that's been passed down for many years. But if we do try to improve that, which I think we can, because it's very easy to clean these cups, it's not that hard. If we do try to promote that with our campaign hand in hand, I do think that more people will be willing to use them. So it's a work in progress. I do think it's something we will keep in mind, though. Yeah.
Hello. Good job. I can tell your enthusiasm through your presentation. My question is, since the single-use waste is inevitable. Yeah, honestly. So do you ever think about that through this maybe Louisa Coffee, the shop they can, on the other hand, also communicate with the side of production to have invention, product, maybe more environmental friendly products like maybe nature decomposing or biodegrade products. I think we're supposed to have multiple ways to solve this problem. So it's good to we think reusable utensils is good, but also I think alternative project is also important too. So maybe you can let us know what's more your details about if we communicate with the coffee shop. Okay, thank you.
We believe that a lot of coffee shops are already taking these initiatives and they're already trying to implement better or utensils that are better for the environment but still disposable. However, there's this thing called greenwashing that's surrounding this whole thing, and it's basically when a store says that they're using reusable, really environmentally friendly disposable utensils, and they're advertising these disposable utensils, but in reality, these utensils are actually not as environmentally friendly as they think they are. So we think that through this project, we can, through collaborating with these companies, we can have like a third-party perspective of greenwashing, and we can impact them and talk to them and discuss on what other ways we can implement these ideas.
And okay, I'll add on to that. I've also seen, so for example, using coffee grounds as the input to make these reusable cups, and also like I mentioned, I've seen this on the social media just this morning that they posted a video. It's like 3 college students. They invented an edible coffee cup, and that's like cookies. You can really eat them, and like they're actually tasty. I think a lot of us have seen the video, and I really think that it's our kind of duty, that it's how closely we are doing this, like aiming this, reducing waste in Louisa, that we can collaborate with each other. And I think these also, like you said, I think it's a very valuable suggestion that we can consider different materials in the production process. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And
look like we still have time, right? Okay, may I ask you one more question? So we know the plastic is harmful for the wild organism, but now we're talking about microplastic. It's pretty tiny. If anyone asks you, since this kind of plastic is so tiny, why we have to care about that? Do you have any evidence really this microplastic is really harmful for our human beings?
These microplastics, they go in our body and they stay there. They enter our bloodstreams and etc. Of course, that's bad because it can cause a lot of health problems. But also, when these microplastics enter our body, it can create like an epigenetic tag, which means that these health problems that the microplastics create will be passed down to future generations. So each of our generations will have these health problems caused by the microplastics. And because of this, each generation will also induce more of them, and this creates more epigenetic tags, and then so each generation will be even more affected by microplastics than the last. So it's actually a really important topic.
And in addition to that, plastic was invented or discovered less than 100 years ago. So the long-term, we don't really know what the long-term impact of microplastics is. So I don't think we want to find out what the long-term impact is. So we wish to reduce this problem from its grassroots levels and lessen the production of plastics. Any other questions?
Any plans to continue the
So I am, like I said, I'm a reporter right now. So we're actually planning on to interviewing these students, like I said, and also even the owners, even the business owners of Louisa Cafe or other chain restaurants that we can find. And I think because of this media position that we can do this, I've interviewed the 台湾碳权交易所总经理, and so we do have this connection, and I do think it will also help.
I think adding on to that, with our current Fridays for Future network and collaboration, we are also in collaboration with other organizations. So it starts from this campaign to our organization. And with our organization, we have more further other organizations branching out. So together, it kind of connects together like a big web. And I think that is good media exposure because a lot of these organizations have the same vision and values. So together, connecting them together, I think it traces back to this campaign. Yeah.
One final question. Okay. Why do you pick Louisa, and who do you talk to? I mean, who do you talk to? Do you talk to the corporate chairperson, or you just talk to the person who's a coffee? I'm just curious.
We picked Louisa because it's a very popular coffee brand in Taiwan, and because it's Taiwan owned. It started in Taiwan, but it also has a lot of international locations. So in normal circumstances, we should be proud that our chain stores have international locations. But because Louisa is so harmful to the environment, we can't currently be proud of this. So we chose Louisa because we want to make it a store that we can be proud of.